Hello and welcome to this lesson on creating your conceptual data model. So we spoke briefly about the theory of data models and data model components, and we spoke about essentially what a conceptual data model is. So in this example, we're going to take the case study that was shared as part of this module about an online retailer similar to Amazon. And the key things we're going to be focusing on here are our customer. We are going to be focusing on products. We are going to be looking at product categories. And we're going to be looking at orders. So we're not going to model out quite the full Amazon type of data model, but we're going to do the basics. So let's get started with our customer. Create some space here. And let's imagine this is the customer entity. So let's draw it like that. We'll just summarize it as customer. Now, all that we need to do at this stage is just say, well, we've got the customer entity. Let's then think about creating a product. So here is our product table. Excuse my handwriting. Now we're going to model the category. So another table or entity for category. Now, if we think about the way that products and categories exist on the Amazon store, we might have a category called electronics, and within that you've got all your laptops, your hi-fi components, your Ring doorbells, all of those sorts of things. So that means there is a relationship between category and product. So I'm going to just draw a line between those two. And also what we're saying is that one category can contain many products. So the way that we would annotate this is using something like that. It's called a crow's foot, and essentially that shows it shows the relationship here of one category can contain many products. Okay. Another way of doing that is also to annotate it with a 1. Oh, apologies, we've got the wrong color pen. 1 to n, as was the icon used in the actual training module. I'm going to stick with the crow's feet because that's a little bit easier to read. So we've essentially now modeled the real world relationship between a category and a product. And in fact, in the data world, it is exactly the same. So now we're going to turn our attention to customer and product. Now, if you think about it, there is really no direct relationship between a customer and a product. So they do almost exist in abstract of each other. But the point at which they really come together is when we place an order. So what we're going to go now and do is create an order entity there. So we've got that now. Now thinking about how this looks in the real world, could an order be shipped to multiple customers? Probably not. For this exercise, definitely not. But could a customer have multiple orders? Absolutely. So we will then draw a relationship between the customer and the order. And again, using our crow's foot or feet notation, indicate here that one customer can have many orders. Again, now we're going to think about what the next logical link is. And an order will be made up of products. So we may be ordering one product. So there is a link between the order entity and the product entity. But in many occasions, we spend lots of money online. So we're going to order multiple products per order, which is the way that these platforms are generally set up. So the way I would annotate that is like this, to say that one order can have many products. And in this way, we have essentially now completed our conceptual data model. Obviously, it gets a little more complex when you start adding in customer addresses, for example. Apologies, that wasn't supposed to happen. And if you start ordering, subtotals and tax and shipping and all of these sorts of things. But for the purposes of this exercise, we're keeping it simple, and we have essentially finished our conceptual data model. So let's just refresh. We're saying a customer can have many orders. So just to kind of refresh on that, we're saying a customer can have many orders. An order can have many products. And many products can belong to only one category, or in the reverse, one category can have many products. And that's it. It's as simple as it sounds. Now, in the subsequent videos, we will break this down a little bit into, because you're probably starting to ask questions around particularly I think the order one that gets a little bit more complex. So when we take this model and we translate it to a logical data model, we're really going to focus on this order table a little. So we'll leave it there for now. Take that all in. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next snippet or the next module.